What's going on, guys? Coming at you with another video. Late video, driving to work. As always at night, I hate it. But whatever, that's not why I'm here. Here to talk about Eagles free agency. Eagles are making a lot of moves, and I enjoy seeing all the moves they're making and everything, but I don't know. I think it's just my emotions that are talking, because when free agency starts, that just means that we're one step closer to football season. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And the Eagles have been making a lot of moves. Obviously, everybody knows about the Bradford deal, 2 years. Pretty good deal. I enjoyed it. I talked about it already. I'm not going to go really deep into it, but trying to figure out now what we're going to do with Sanchez. I mean, obviously he's under contract, so he'll probably be the backup next year. But for some reason, we're still going after Chase Daniels, the Kansas City backup, and I still don't understand why. If we have two quarterbacks going into next year, everyone's like, oh, you need three quarterbacks. But, I mean, to be honest with you, I think two quarterbacks are fine. And if it gets to the point where you need your third-string quarterback in, obviously your season at that point is done. I mean, you know, obviously there's a lot of factors, injury, suspensions, any stupid reasons. Whatever the case is that's not the thing I want to be worried about right now. The Eagles put themselves in such stupid situations, and it just irritates me, because we get all these players and then we just let them go after a year or 2 years, whatever the case may be. And obviously the first biggest news for the Philadelphia Eagles is the trade between Alonso-Murray and the Tennessee Titans. And that happened today. Not today per se, it will be happening. Ian Rappaport or whoever on ESPN, whatever big money maker dude on ESPN, told us the deal hasn't been finalized yet, but we just know that the Eagles are trading Alonso-Murray to the Titans for some compensation. I'm not sure what it is. There's obviously a lot of different things that I can think of, or my opinions. Obviously, we're not getting the first round pick of the draft, which would be outstanding if we did. But obviously, Alonso-Murray's not worth a first round, or the first pick of the draft. Obviously, he's worth the first round pick, but not the first pick of the draft. And I'll be really surprised if that happens. But that's like 1% chance that's actually happening. But whatever the case is. Another thing is obviously draft picks. We have no second round picks. So I'm really hoping that we get at least a second, or one or two picks for Alonso-Murray, because he wasn't that bad of a player. He just had a rough year last year in our Eagles, in our offense. I mean, obviously he was only averaging 3.6 yards a game or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that we had three running backs on our team, and he just didn't fit well in our offense, clearly. But it sucks because he still guaranteed the money or whatever, and we did sign him for 4 years, but, after a year we let him go. So obviously, I hate trading players for draft picks, because we don't get anybody in return, It's not the Titans were going to give us their running back, or I'm actually hoping we get a couple defensive guys after what I just heard on our other trades, but you never know. But also, there's news that I just found out that we might be trading Ryan Matthews away. And I don't understand why, because him and Sproles together, they worked really well in our offense. And for Ryan Matthews to be traded, where are we going to go? Obviously, we have to go to free agency, or we have to go to the draft. But, I mean, who are we really going to go for? We're not going to pay Doug Martin. We're not going to, I don't think we should pay Doug Martin at least. Yeah, he had a good year, but I mean, that's how everyone does. They have one good year, then they get paid a big amount, then they end up sucking. We're not going to go for, if we go for Charchandrick West, I mean, that's not a bad idea, but I'd rather not. But we'll see what happens in that situation. I guess it really doesn't matter. Obviously, the next big news is Kiko Alonso and Byron Maxwell going to the Miami Dolphins once again for draft picks. And that's just it irritates me because we just got those guys last year, and Alonso was hurt most of the year, and Maxwell didn't have the year that he should have had, but granted, he did come from one of the best defenses from the Seattle Seahawks, and I think that's a big reason why Maxwell didn't do that well for us, is just because, he played with Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor and all these guys, and their defense was just so much more of a powerhouse compared to the Eagles. Not to say our defense didn't completely suck. I mean, our defense is the reason why we won half of our game last year. But once again, we're getting draft picks from Miami. First, I mean, I'd like a first, second, third round pick, but I mean, I don't want to send two guys off that we just paid all this money for, and to get fifth through sixth round draft picks. You know what I mean? I mean, we got rid of LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso, and I just don't understand what our mentality. I don't understand why we do these things. Kiko Alonso was hurt half the year. Give the guy a chance. He was a great rookie. But whatever the case is, we got rid of them guys. Now we have to go for defense now we have to go defensive for the draft. And it's not a horrible thing. I really wanted to go offensive. Obviously, we have no wide receivers, and our offensive line sucks, but what are you going to do, obviously? And that we'll find out how much more happens, obviously, tomorrow, because Wednesday's when everything really finalizes, I guess. It just sucks because we like I said, we just got these guys, and we lose all this money. That's just what the Eagles do, man. It's stupid. But on the high note, we also did acquire Leotis McKelvin from the Buffalo Bills. I think it was 2 years, $6-7 million or some nonsense like that. I'm not really sure off the top of my head. I have the paper around here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but Leotis McKelvin, he was a really, really good. He played really good defense for the Buffalo Bills in the years that he was there. I unfortunately had to watch a lot of Buffalo Bills games the past 3 years due to my girlfriend's brother being a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and but I watched McKelvin play. I like it. I think he's made 300 tackles, 13 interceptions, I want to say. I don't know, 10 forced fumbles, and I think and of course he had one interception for a touchdown, and of course that was against the Eagles last year. But I like McKelvin coming to the Eagles because he might be he's a good defensive guy, but obviously with our defensive coordinator being Jim Schwartz and McKelvin playing for Jim Schwartz, he understands how that defense is played. And I think I just read before I left the house that McKelvin had 4 interceptions during the time that Jim Schwartz was the defensive coordinator, which is the most for him. So that's kind of good for us, but who knows? But yeah, just a quick short video. I'm hoping that we go, obviously with all the draft picks we go, obviously we should go. I want to go both offensive and defensive. I prefer us going offensive. I prefer our first pick, the 13th pick, being a wide receiver, because obviously we need one. There's a couple that they were talking about, some dude out of Baylor and some dude, I don't know who the other guy was. I don't know. There's so many damn college teams, I don't even know. Well, after we get the offense out of the way, hopefully we have a couple second round picks. So the first round, the 13th pick, we go for, we go wide receiver and grab our wide receiver, and then we're done. Then we go offensive line, then we go defense. But you never know. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to get the first round pick from Miami, or we don't know if we're going to get the number 1 pick from the Titans. We really don't know. So obviously we'll find out. So a lot of news, obviously. We'll find out everything that happens tomorrow. Great start for the Philadelphia Eagles in their quest for a Super Bowl, finally. Hopefully this year, maybe. It's probably not going to happen. We fucking suck. We always hype ourselves up for nothing, and but still, I root for these idiots, and I love them to death. And well, on that note, go Birds, and let's go.